We're back. Y'all know what time it is. You know. Grown men podcast. Let's go. Season 3. Reloaded. Let's go. Protect Our Head Ministries and Army Raw Production presents Grown Men Podcast. Season 3. Reloaded. And I'm your host, Another Chance. I'm backed up by co-host Free Cypher, our line gangster from Cali. With special new guest host Orlando's own T-Rail. This season we'll be releasing amazing energy with powerful knowledge, spreading love and wisdom as we all come together. So sit back, relax, and let's grow. Come on, Grown Men Podcast. Yeah. Real men, real issues, real solutions. Already. 2024, you already know. Anywhere else. Let's go. Welcome.
Thank God for the time that you pulled me.
You are now tuned in to Grown Men Podcast. Real men, real issues with real solutions. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining us. This is season 3. Episode 2. I'm your host, Another Chance, your philanthropist, your artist. I'm blessed and grateful to be here, grateful to be back in the building with my brothers and you viewers to join us as we head to this quest of love, peace, and growth with one another, man. Y'all put yourselves at ease and welcome my brother, Free Cypher Allah, to the stage. What's going on, Free?
Peace, everybody. How y'all doing tonight?
Coolin', brother. Coolin'. What's good with you, Free?
Everything's everything.
Good.
Give a shout out to Mr. God of Shaw.
Okay. MJB, the God of Shaw. Okay. Is that why you went to
Army Raw Productions? Give a shout out.
Shout out to MJB, Army Raw Productions.
Yes, sir. Can't mention Army Raw without that 99919. Mr. Corbett over there, 19 Entertainment.
Shout out to Mr. Corbett and MJB, man. You know we for sure, man. We're gonna also bring aboard the one and only G Rick, gangster from California, man. What's going on, gangster?
Oh man, another sunny day in California. You know how I go. Chilling, man. What's up with it? Side?
Good, man.
All right.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, man. For sure.
We back at it.
Yeah, you know, we'll give a shout out to my little brother, man. He feeling under the weather. Get well, dog. Get back
shout
on
out.
it. You know,
one shout out to Terrible, man. T-Rail. Love you, double brother. Love you, man.
Peace, real. Get it right. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll see him next week. If you brothers, if it's all good, I'll go ahead and bring aboard. I don't have any announcements. I don't have any announcements going on. Same old. We got the Stop the Violence Walk coming up June 1st. I don't want y'all to forget about that. Anybody that want to be a part of that, all the friends, the followers, the fans, get in contact with us. Get in contact with Grown Man Podcast. June 1st is Stop the Violence Walk. So definitely get in contact with us on that. I'm going to bring aboard our guest of the evening. She's an entrepreneur. She's right here from Orlando, Florida, by way of Winter Park. She's a native here. So she's a Floridian. Winter Park High School is where she comes from. So I'm going to bring aboard Mrs. Andy. She's an entrepreneur. She's the CEO of her own business, guys. It's titled Black Gem Financial Services. I want to put y'all put your hands together and welcome my good friend, Mrs. Andy M. Harris.
Welcome aboard, Andy.
Great evening. Thank you, gentlemen, for having me.
All right. Welcome.
Yes,
welcome.
How are you?
I am great. How are y'all doing?
Awesome.
I'm at peace.
Yeah, I'm
Best
good.
way to
I'm good.
be.
God
Yeah,
is
okay.
good, man. You can't complain at
Yep.
all.
I'm good.
Tell the people a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. As Chance said, I am a native of Florida, born and raised. Um, Grew up in Winter Park and did attend Winter Park High School. I don't know what that was. I felt a little something when you said Winter Park High School, but we're gonna let that slide. Um,
Yeah.
uh,
Uh-oh.
I was a career student for a while. I went to school for graphic design, which turned into art history, which turned into creative writing, which
Mhm.
I graduated from UCF with a bachelor's in creative writing, and I minored in African American studies. Then I went on to get my master's in adult education. And then I found out $112,000 later that I could have entered the world of financial services with just training and a test and been able to make a great deal of money and help a great deal of people, but we live and we
Mhm.
learn. So here I
Right.
am today, the owner of Black Gem Financial Services.
Okay. Black Gem Financial Services. And
Yes.
tell us a little bit about Black Gem Financial Services.
Black Gem Financial Services came about when, in 2020, when I was introduced to the financial services industry by Adriana Herrera, somebody I met on LinkedIn. Um, it started out as just an informational session, and then I found that it could be an opportunity to make extra money on the side as well as learn something new. And I'm a lifelong learner and educator, so that piqued my interest, and I wanted to do better with my own finances. So I went to this seminar and I found out a lot of great information that a lot of people don't know, and such as the rule of 73, which is how money is compounded and how interest grows. It's kind of how, like, when you use your credit card and you spend $35, but when you get the bill, it's all that extra stuff on the end. That is compound interest, and how the rule of 72 works. Um, there was a bunch of other things that I learned. One of the things being is that life insurance was a way to build financial stability as well. I was one of those people that thought life insurance was just about when you die, everybody comes by and looks at you, oh, they put her away so nice. But this industry has taught me that life insurance can also be a way to grow your finances as well. So, with that being in mind, I started to fall in love with all things financial, which I used to tell people I don't do good at math. I'm an English major, is what I used to tell people, until I discovered the financial industry and absolutely fell in love with all that can be done in the financial industry.
Okay, so give me an example of that because I'm sure my viewers and my brothers want to know exactly. I mean, what do you mean as far as a financial um, stream with the insurance?
Okay, so one of the concepts that we teach is called the $1 million baby. Um, and the $1 million baby is when you insure a child, and by the time that they're 18, if the policy is funded properly, they can have $1 million that has generated through the payment of the policy from the time that they are children to the time that they are adults. Um, and the thing about that, it's often done through a product called an IUL, which is an Index Universal Life Insurance Policy. Most of us are, we put our money in banks, and banks give us less than 1% return on our money. So if you put $5,000 in the bank today, at the end of the year, you're not going to have much return on that $5,000. But if you are approved for a policy and you get that and you put that same $5,000 in a policy, it will accumulate interest at a higher rate and therefore generate more funds for you. One of the other good things about that is that some people don't want to go in debt for college, and some kids don't want to go to college. A lot of people use, because I'm here and I want to tell y'all about it, it's escaping me, but they use a plan, a 529 plan for their children to go to college. But if their child grows up and says, hey, I don't want to go to college, that's not for me, then you're going to lose a substantial amount of your money from that policy because that child is not going to college because it's specifically designed for that. But with an IUL, that child can pull that money out as a loan, which they don't have to pay back. It just takes it off of the end of the policy and they'll get the death benefit and whatever the policy has accumulated to start a business, to buy a car, whatever it is that they want to do. A lot of people also use it to supplement their income when they retire, because you still have that money that's accumulating while you're working in the process because you're paying on that. It's also a way to diversify your funds. And then the government does not classify that it's not a bank account, it's an insurance policy. So you're not getting taxed on it twice because you're paying for it with dollars that have already been taxed. So it's beneficial to a person that uses that avenue to make their money grow.
Okay, question.
Yes, sir.
So far, you done explained on how it could help my kids or somebody else, right? How can it help me?
Okay. It can help you as well in the same way. There are other types of policies. You have to qualify for a policy, of course. There are things that they're going to look at, your height, your weight. Some policies or some companies now are not even doing the medical, like drawing the blood. They'll just go through your medical history and see if you are a high risk, which, insurance, like anything else, is a business. So they'll check and see if you're high risk. If you're not, then you can get, great ratings on what you'll pay. But if you have like some illness or something, like, for example, I have a client that's a diabetic, they can still get insurance, but they're gonna have to pay a little bit more for that, which is why I encourage people to get insurance at a younger age. And you asked how could it help you as well? It can help you because there are policies where, let's say, God forbid, you get sick. Most policies don't pay out until you die. There are policies with living benefits that will cover you for chronic or critical illnesses while you're living. You can put in a claim and they'll pay you while you're living to cover your expenses, and things of that nature, so that you're not falling behind because you're sick.
So, what's the minimum amount to put into this?
It depends on what you are going to qualify for. It's no like $35 or whatever. There are policies like final expense policies. If you're somebody who doesn't want um that type of policy, you can say, hey, I want to spend $35 a month, and we can generate a quote for that as well. um but
I
with
would
the
be a high. I would be a high risk
Why do you think that?
because I got a stent in my heart.
Okay, it's possible. Some companies, we work with a plethora of companies, so there are companies that are harder or stricter on things, and then there are companies that are a little more lenient. We are actually, I just switched to a new platform, Global Financial Impact, or GFI, and we work with a company called Ethos, and they're going to go from the top all the way down to the bottom so that they make sure that they can cover you for something that you're protected if something should happen to you.
Gangster, you got any questions for Miss Andy? You on mute? You muted yourself?
Yeah. I did mute myself. What happened was, what I was saying was, I get, I ain't really got no question. I'm just listening to what it was, but I get phone calls all the time from people talking about, your final ins- insurance and final death insurance. And all, I'd be like, man, I'm chilling right now, having a good time. I don't want to talk about me dying, man. Get off my phone. You know what I'm saying? You know
Right.
what I mean?
That's
You know what I
understandable.
mean? What?
That is
Man, get off my
understandable.
Hey, death is a reality. Death is a
Yeah,
reality.
no doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
You don't want
And
to leave your
that's
family
understood.
stuck.
That's
You know,
understood. But at the same time,
you want to have that laid out funeral that lasts 5 hours. You know what I mean? That's gonna cost a little something.
yeah, I understand that, right? But I don't want to talk about it right now. Today,
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
it ain't gonna never be the good time or the right
I know
time
it.
to talk
I know
about
it.
it.
But that's
But
how a Negro
the quicker
feels
you have
right
that
at that point.
conversation,
Right? That's
the
how he
quicker
feel at
you
that
Can
moment.
you repeat
And at
that
that
again,
moment,
Gangster Rich,
I ain't talking
please?
about
You
it.
said that's how Negroes feel. And a lot of the time, that's the wall that I run into, because I got into this. Another reason I got into this was to educate my people. I'm willing to work with anybody, but my people primarily, because it it's disheartening to see that so many of us pass away and we have to have fundraisers or GoFundMe pages when
For
insurance is
sure.
not as expensive as a lot of people think it is. And the sooner that you do it, for example, I have IULs on both of my kids. I have 12-year-old twins. So when I first got into the industry, I was with this doctor who put me on the stupid amount of metformin because she said I was a pre-diabetic. So when I applied for my policy, I got denied because I'm short and I'm chunky. And then she put me on the stupid amount of metformin. So it looked like I was a very uncontrolled diabetic. And that rated me at a high risk. So I was like, I don't want this to happen to my children. So by me putting a policy on my children, that was 4 years ago. So they were 12. They were 8 years old. So when they grow up, because I maintain that policy, they don't have to worry about going through those questions, or God forbid if they have diabetes when they get older, they already have insurance. So it's not, they won't have to go through that again. And then because it's an IUL, they're accumulating funds for later on in their life. And that's just something that I want our community to break down that barrier and not think that life insurance is just for when you pass away or whatever. It has a lot of benefits as well.
I see.
Nice. That's nice to know, man. That's nice to know.
Yeah, especially and then I could tell that they let you like you said, it accumulate cash by.
Yeah, but on that accumulating the cash, how long do it take before they can actually take that money out?
Yeah,
you know, like
It
10, 20
varies
years.
with the company that we match you with. But excuse me, it also depends on how much. Of course, if you're putting more, you'll accumulate more quickly. So it depends on how much you're accumulating to when you'll be able to pull out. So you'll have your death benefit, but your rate may accumulate a little bit slower if you're putting in less money. But if you're putting in more money, it'll accumulate a little faster. So when you have more money, it could take less time to get it out. But that is an
It's not.
option.
only makes sense.
This is
Okay,
this is something that you're going to continue putting money into
Yes.
as you go.
yeah, it's weekly, monthly, however you get paid or whatever. It's something like that. But this is what I'm saying. So it's best to start at birth. For
Well, I would personally, but it's never too late because,
yeah, it's
like
never
I
too
said,
late.
we
But
work
I'm
with
just
a
saying,
bunch of companies.
like I was looking at the fact you was like the $1 million baby
Mm-hmm.
when you were speaking on that. You're looking at you start at birth or childhood, and by the time that child reaches 18, 19, 20, whatever, you know what I mean? That child has a start fund.
Right.
Now, can you like give like an estimate as to how much you done put into that policy over the 18, 20 years?
Yes, when we run we run a we run a quote for you, and it'll show you, like, if you say, well, I got $75 I can put in a month for my child. And a lot of times it's a range. So it'll be your max, you can max out the policy, because if you go over a certain amount, then it becomes a financial vehicle.
That's it.
But if you fund it less than, then it's still seen as an insurance policy. So if you could put in, like, let's say $50 to $250, anywhere in between that window, it'll accumulate, and it'll give you in the illustration is what we call it. It'll show you, at this year you're gonna get this much, at this year you're gonna get this much, because unlike the stock market, there is a ceiling and a floor to um these type of policies. The way that your money is invested is it'll go up with the market, but it's never going to go all the way down with the market. That's what I mean by there's a floor. So when you're doing things like 401ks, which I'm not speaking badly on 401ks, it is a great avenue to put your money into, but diversification is better, simply because if you put all your money in a 401k and you're looking to retire next year and the market drops, you have $500,000 in there. Now you got 250, and then that money already, it's not taxed. So you got 250 that's not taxed yet, and who knows what Uncle Sam's rate is going to be when he taxes it. So that 250 might drop down to 150 or whatever because they've taxed you after. So then you don't know what you have. So that's why I'm a fan of products with ceilings and floors, because I'm not, I'm I'll play a scratch off and might go to casino a little bit, but I don't like to gamble with my money like that when it comes to, what I'm gonna have to do for my future and my children's future.
Let me ask you this, Andy. Is this a policy that you carry yourself?
That policy, I do not. I do have an insurance policy, but because, like I said, of the diabetes that she put on, I was pre-diabetic when I applied for the policy. Um, and so I got declined. That's why I put it on my children. But I do have insurance on myself.
Okay, so do me a favor. Tell the people how they can get in contact with Black Gem Financial Services.
Absolutely. You can email me at blackblkgihmfs@gmail.com, or I can be reached at 407-308-2715.
Okay,
Nice.
so now one more question, since you brought up the risk of other places and stuff. What are the risks with the insurance? Since it's got floors and ceilings, so that's not really a risk. You already know where you how you gonna go, and it ain't gonna drop no lower than
Right.
such and such. Outside of, like, okay, a lot of time when we looking at things that's a long range, you know what I mean? Like car payments and mortgages and stuff like this. A lot of us get repossessed or lose our houses because we fall behind on the bill. What happened? We fall behind on paying this insurance.
Okay. Well, there is a grace period on a lot of the policies, on most of the policies actually. So if you fall behind, then it's not like, oh, I didn't pay my light bill by this date, it gets cut off. Um, you have a grace period to pay your policy. But one of the good things about it is that some of the policies which I spoke on is, like I said, you have that kind of sliding scale. So let's say you were contributing the 75 I mentioned earlier, but you like, okay, I can only do 20 now or whatever. Is you're still contributing to that policy. It's not going to grow as much, but you're not going to lose it. So you do have that would be the downside of it. But when you have a policy that is accumulating money, what'll happen is that they'll use the funds that it's accumulating to pay the policy until you can regain or restart your payments again.
Oh, see that's what I'm trying to figure out. You know what I mean? Would it still utilize, or you just straight up just done lost that? You done
No,
straight
you
up.
don't. You don't. There's different types of policies like um term policies. A lot of people frown upon term. There are some companies that tout do term and save the difference, but for me, I don't care for that strategy simply because I make money to spend money. Of course, I want to save, but we all work because we like different things that we want to do. So most likely, in my case, if they tell me, okay, I'm going to put this in a term policy and I'm going to save this for something later, if you got money in your hand or cash that you're accessible to, you're not probably going to save it like you should. In a lot of people's cases, some people don't have that discipline like that. So that's why I like a lot of the different aspects of how this works.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next thing. I was gonna, let you know that our viewership. I ain't talking bad about y'all, but it's me too. You know what I mean? I live check to check, and sometimes
Yeah,
that check don't make it. That check don't make it all the way to the next check.
absolutely.
Right.
And that was one of the things, believe it or not, that was a clincher for me because that check don't be checking sometimes. So it was a way to make additional money to fill in the gaps where they weren't being filled. In this business you can come on and they'll teach you. That's why I said I felt like $112,000 later, really this is all I had to do. It's like pretty much, I would say, about a $500 max investment that I made, and it's not a lump sum of $500. You pay for your testing, then you pay to take your test, and then your different errors and emissions insurance or your platform fees or whatever that is. But that was it. Like, I spent $112,000 for a job I wasn't guaranteed to get after I got my, I'm not knocking college because trust me, I've done
Okay, I'm
plenty of
glad you
time.
say that much.
But
Right.
the thing is that
Right.
I think that youths of any color need to know that there are options, because before I came into financial services, I was in healthcare. And the job I had, I worked in sterile processing. I didn't need a degree for that either. They trained on the job. I got certified and I worked my way up. When I left sterile processing, I started out at $8.50 an hour. And when I left, I was making $45 an hour. So there was, room for growth. And that was without a degree that I could have done that, just certifications. I did have a degree, so it helped me, but there was still possibilities to grow in that industry without having gone to college. And again, I'm not knocking college, because there is a lot of there's a lot of good things about going to college. But
Right.
if you're that type of person that you just don't have that in you, there are options out there for people that can make you a substantial amount of money without having to go to college.
Yes, I would say that. You ain't got to sign up for the 4 to 8 years.
I agree with that.
You could get it in a few months to
Right,
start making you some money. If money is your end goal, you know what I mean, you can get it a little bit quicker. But we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to this 112 because I know the producer's trying to move on to the next segment.
Yelling. The fans are itching and waiting. I thank y'all for your patience. But if all minds and hearts are clear, we're gonna move right along and get this show started, man. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Andy. We appreciate you to be here with us.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you to the viewers for tuning in. Gangster, can you tell them?
Yeah, man. We know you could have been anywhere else you wanted to be, and you decided to kick it with us, the boys of GMP, and we appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it wholeheartedly. Thank you.
News now in Orlando, where police have arrested a man in connection to that deadly shooting last night.
They also identified a man killed in a shootout in the Rosemont neighborhood of Orlando. 21-year-old James Jerry William III died in that shooting. The suspect, Wayne Grant Jr., faces aggravated battery charges in connection to this shooting. Western News reporter Greg Fox is live at OPD headquarters with these breaking details. Greg.
Yeah, Wayne Anthony Grant Jr. has not been in any kind of serious trouble before with the law. I checked court records in Orange County. We're continuing to check neighboring counties just to make sure. But so far, all we found is civil traffic violations, one criminal traffic violation, nothing violent, but all of that changed today. This part of the Rosemont community along Iron Wedge Drive off South Lake Orlando Parkway had police roaming from yard to yard, using metal detectors to find and mark the location of shell casings. There were dozens.
Heard a bunch of rapid gunfire outside. And we came outside to find out that one of the neighbors, or a couple of the neighbors, were running down the street and being shot at.
Bob Ivorone and his family did what others in this neighborhood told us they did when they heard shot after shot after shot, hid in their homes and called 911. Do you think police ought to be patrolling this neighborhood more?
Yeah, I think they should step it up a little bit. You never know what's going to happen.
All around the street, you could see bullet holes in cars, in a garage door, a front door, and elsewhere. Orlando police say they responded to this home around 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon after reports of an assault with weapons. By 11 p.m., bullets were flying. 6 people were wounded and are expected to survive. A 7th man, 21-year-old James Jerry Don William III, was fatally shot and found on the sidewalk. Exactly what role he played in the shootout between two groups, police won't say.
It was like 5 houses up into the stop. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? I was worried about my roommate and my house and everything was okay. And now I'm like, okay.
Angela Sardelli was stopped as she tried to get to her house in the early morning hours while police continued their investigation.
It's awful. Kind of puts a dark cloud over the area right now. Kind of sad.
The family of James William talked with me by phone this afternoon, but they said that they were too upset to say much, if anything at all, at this point. Live in Orlando, Orange County, Greg Fox, WESH 2 News.
Our blessings go out to the families surrounding that event, and shouts out to Channel 2 West News for that video. Unfortunately, it's another tragic event. That got it. They show Wayne Grant. That's the suspect that they got locked up. He look familiar, man. He look like I know that cat.
I mean, you probably do. They all look a little too young for me.
Yeah, I got people stay right in that neighborhood.
Well, I mean, that's the backside of Rosemont, like over there by where the fire department at. You know, you come up the North Lane at the end of North Lane.
Okay.
Lake Orlando, you will bust a right to go back to that way instead of going to left to go to everybody, like usually where you would go.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's like on that backside, the quiet side, the good side, we would say.
Yeah, me and Pops painted a house over there not too long ago, right down there.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. But 6 people wounded, and that 21-year-old boy lost his life. God bless him.
I mean, I seen one report where they were saying it was about somebody loaned somebody a car and they ain't bring it back on time, and this is what it started about. But this was I don't know which one was the loaner and which one was the loanee. You know what I mean? But this is what we always tell. This is my whole thing to anybody, man. Don't loan nothing that you don't really want to loan that. You know what I mean? Especially dealing with cars and stuff like this here. You know, ain't nobody, I mean, things happen. We try to bring stuff back on time, but especially if I'm just thinking about it, if it was the young man, the 21-year-old, the one that's deceased, if it was he was the loaner or loanee, meaning he was lent the car. I know as a JIT, my intentions is to come right back. But I go to talking to these girls and lose track of time. Mm-hmm. And man, oh man, now y'all know I'm out here telling everybody this my whip.
Right.
So I can't just say, hey, I got to go so I can take the car back.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you would think that somebody would be mindful of this, you know what I mean? The big homie or big cousin or whoever you is, whatever. You know me good enough, you let me hold it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like I say, I don't really know the facts, but we as a people got to do better. You know what I mean? We got to have patience. We can't just lose our cool and go straight to gunfire. That ain't where it's at.
Right.
Period. I don't really care what it is, man. Guns is really for food or to protect your hives from invasion.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't to settle no problem or straight nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? The gun is not like for really you to be out here looking for trouble. You got that gun, you out here every time you get in an argument, you got to pull it out. Everything that you argue about ain't worth dying about.
Exactly.
Everything that you argue about ain't worth killing about. Because we argue about some stupid stuff. I mean, some little things. And in a little argument, somebody gonna say something that's gonna cut deep and you gonna want to kill them because you emotional.
Mm-hmm.
But if you that emotional, get that gun away from you.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah. You know, they keep telling you all the things that the people that don't need to have guns and stuff like this here. But they ain't really got no way to check on all these gun holders' mental capacity.
Of course not.
Family and friends of these gun holders ain't trying to tell them nothing. Mm-hmm. And that's what we got to do. We got to be that person to let our overhinged homeboy or family member know, hey, look here, nigga. You can't keep pulling this gun out every time you get into an argument with somebody. Exactly. Somebody needs to take him down and take that pistol.
Right.
You know he ain't supposed to have it. Get it from him.
Exactly.
JJ done took plenty from me.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So it ain't no excuse. We got to do better as community leaders, family leaders, household leaders of ourselves. We got to take these steps to make a change. You can't be scared of your own child. You can't be scared of your child homeboys. I know a lot of y'all don't know what that means, but JJ wasn't scared of none of my partners. She gonna tell me off and gonna tell them off the same way. Mm-hmm. She gonna get me straight, she gonna keep them straight the same way. And they parents was the same way. But now when we got away from the highs, hey, it's a different story.
Yeah.
It's a different story.
Miss Andy, you got anything to say on the issue before I move forward?
Feel like I definitely agree with Cypher that we have to speak up because we know where the situation could lead. We know these people on a personal level, and we know if they get a gun or a butter knife in their hand that they're dangerous, no less running around in the streets with a gun, that something bad is going to happen. And then somebody's lost their family, and then somebody loves that person that's reckless with that gun. So there's pain all the way across the board,
all the way around
for
the table.
No reason. You know, I think that mental health is something that really should be not so frowned upon, because a hot head is a mental health issue. You need to be able to control yourself at all times. So I think that there's a lot, you know, in play there. It's sad, and I feel for the families involved, all the families involved.
I just want to touch on what you just said. That comes with education. It comes with growth. It comes with experience to be able to stand up and do that and say, okay, I can be the opposite. That's, you know, you kind of reminded me of the next segment coming up. But yeah, I'm with you. I understand you. I'm with you, Free. It looks like Gangsta toggled out. He'll be right back with us, I'm sure. Our minds and hearts are clear. We'll go ahead and move on to the next current event.
We're getting our first look at the moments before a shooting, which left a man dead and became the center of a Stand Your Ground case.
Yeah, that shooting happened at a hotel in Orlando last year, but a judge just dismissed the case last week. Fox 35's Patrick Perez is here with a look at that new video. Patrick.
And Luann, this surveillance video is essentially what helped the judge decide to drop the murder charge against Rafael Villaverde, freeing a man who was in jail for more than a year. The shooting happened in August of last year at the Heritage Hotel on OBT in South Orange County. Watch as brothers Dylan Jimenez in the red hoodie and Brian Richardson in the purple shirt walk toward the breezeway. Standing nearby is Rafael Villaverde in the white shirt. According to court documents, he and Jimenez had a brief verbal exchange moments before Jimenez is seen turning around and firing. Here it is again in slow motion. You can see Jimenez is the first to fire his gun, with Villaverde returning fire shortly after. In the judge's dismissal letter, he writes the state tried to argue that Villaverde provoked Jimenez to shoot at him. But the judge says there is insufficient evidence in the record to show this exchange somehow provoked the use of force by Mr. Jimenez against Villaverde. FGCU professor of forensic sciences and former officer David Thomas agrees.
When you think about stand your ground, it's not the before, it is the position that the person is in at that point in time, if they feared for their life, and if they and what they did was to stop an immediate attack upon them.
In a statement to Fox 35 News, Villaverde's attorney says, in part, while his family's excited to have him home in time for the holidays, he never should have been charged in the first place. He spent 14 months in jail for a crime he did not commit, and we hope that this outcome will ensure that no other family will have to endure the hardships faced by Mr. Villaverde and his family. Jimenez died from his injuries that day, and later 2 deputies shot and killed his brother Richardson after telling him to drop a gun he had in his hand while they were treating Jimenez. And their mother, through an attorney, says she believes that Jimenez was actually acting in self-defense and that Florida's stand your ground law was not justly applied here. In the studio tonight, I'm Patrick Perez, Fox 35 News.
Oh, man.
So both brothers got taken out.
Man.
Is that what I saw?
That's what you saw. That's what you saw. Shout out to Fox 35 News for that video clip, and our condolences goes out to those families surrounding that event, man. Yeah, both brothers.
Yeah.
They say Jit was standing his ground.
I mean, it looked like he was. It don't matter.
I didn't even see how that happened. He was standing there watching the brother get help. And then something happened to where he had to get physical or something.
Okay, the way the story went was they had argued a little bit before we seen what we saw, right? They saying that they were arguing. They had a little verbal argument. If you seen the video, you see that both of them basically was already ready.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Both of that. I mean, looking at the video, they was already ready. But Buddy, you know, the one in the red, he couldn't say that he was in fear of his life. You see what I'm saying? Because he done walked past dude and could have kept going or whatever. He turned back. And when he turned back, he already had it in his hand, firing out shots.
Right.
Irregardless as to what I'm saying, if he trying, you know, they trying to say that Buddy and the white said something to provoke him and made him turn around like that. But at the same time, you seen when Buddy spun around and fired out, he was right there ready to him.
He knew what was coming up. He knew what was coming up.
So they both knew they both was ready. And hey, I can't say nothing about them because that's how I be telling these killers. You should be anyway. Go ahead and kill who you want to be. Don't be doing no drive-bys and hitting innocent people and stuff like that there. So ain't much I can say on that. You know, they were shooting at each other. They know what they was about, what they was arguing about. They probably was.
I wanted to show that clip because that's
that just show that it's not just our problem. This is a problem across the board with this gunfire. Everybody believe that death is the answer.
Yeah.
Y'all better go back. Y'all better go back to fist fighting, man, and be able to laugh about this mess 20 years later. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people that I had problems with, we could laugh about that mess now. You know, we enjoy to share these moments and could look back, be like, dang, man, remember that time you hit me in my
Miss Andrea, you know your screen black, Miss Andy.
Is it?
Your screen is black. Yeah, I lost view from you. I'm not too sure what happened. No, it's still black. It's still black. You probably got to go all the way out, come back in.
Okay.
Now it's just your audio there.
Yeah.
We'll still be here.
Yeah, man. But that's you know what I mean. It's a sad thing, and but what happened with the brother?
That's what I'm talking about. The brother?
What happened with the brother when the police come?
What is what? That's why I'm saying the police. It looked like the police got aggressive with the brother for some reason. Is what I was saying.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. That's just what I'm saying. That's what it looked like.
I mean, like, ain't nobody getting charged in that. Ain't nobody getting charged in that.
But let me ask you this: who was that dead on the ground? Was that the jit that came in the white T-shirt trying to kill him?
I think it was the red shirt. That ended up. It was the white T-shirt that went to jail for it. That sat in jail. It was a white T-shirt that the one that was just standing against the one that was just standing against the wall.
Yeah.
He the one that went to jail.
So he killed Buddy, but Buddy looked like he got more hits off than him.
It don't matter how many shots off you get. This is where they land at.
Man, it looked like Buddy came and put that. Man, since we lost our guest and we lost our. Okay, wait a minute. I think she's coming.
They'll be coming back. They'll be back.
We're gonna keep it moving, Cypher. We're gonna keep it moving, man. We're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna take a pause for the calls. How about
welcome
that?
back, Andy.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Miss Andy. Welcome back. We knew you was coming back to join us.
Absolutely.
Gangster is on his way. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank y'all so much for watching. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're gonna take a quick pause for the calls, and we'll be right back right after these messages.
Great. And I just first, before we start anything, just want to say thank you for allowing me to be a part of this platform, because I think that you guys are awesome, especially for the language that you are speaking to the body, to the nation. So I'm true to be a part of this. So thank you again.
I love everything you guys are doing, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For real. It's time. This is the time right now. Yes, sir. What you guys are doing right now, man. So believe me, God is moving, and that's what I love. That's why I'm here.
Well, I mean, first of all, I'm glad to be finally on the Grown Men podcast. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I feel like I'm eating steak and potatoes. That's real. Yeah, we ain't on milk today. I like it. Yeah, we ain't on that milk. Yeah, we ain't eating on that. I like it.
I'm so glad to be in episode 7 series.
Yes. Honored to be on you guys. Such a fan. So thank y'all so much for this opportunity.
Good. Hey, I'm happy to be on your show, man. You know what I'm saying? Finally. You know what I'm saying? I've been supporting for a minute, but I'm happy to be on your show. Finally get here and talk around with y'all. Man, y'all, it was easy. Shit, y'all some real.
Man, I appreciate the Gangster's Corner, bro. I've been watching for a while.
Well, before we get started, I wanted to say y'all thank you for sharing your platform with me. Allow me to come sit down and eat this particular thing. I greatly appreciate that.
If you went into season 2, this thing, hey man, a lot of people don't understand the podcast method, man, but it's about to take off. It's about to take off to the next level. And as long as y'all stay rooted and stay grounded, man, y'all gonna be part of that takeoff, man, because y'all got a nice platform. You got a decent platform.
Yes, sir. God bless you.
Are you tired of trying lotion that doesn't work, but afraid of trying different things? Well, look no farther. Introducing Level Up Natural Beauty and Fitness, brought to you by the owner, CEO, Tracy Teller. Level Up handmade products are made by Tracy, including butters, oils, scrubs, steamer, toners, and much more. Beer bombs to the green tea, maximizing body oils, sweet spots, buttercreams that you're sure to love. Now it's time to unlock your skin's potentials. And you can't afford to wait too long. So call now.
That technique ain't been working. Them just hiding it in the book, because we've been cracking them books open. We cracking them books open. They gonna teach our children that we as the people benefited from being slaves. We benefited from slavery. We got I'm slaves. I mean, and the people that's coming out to speak on this, to speak against it, y'all missing the whole point. What can we implement on a daily basis. To get away from killing each other. We killing our fish. That's the problem. What's the solution?
Family and relationships. Welcome back. Thank you guys for joining us. We are back, man. Segment 2, family and relationships, man. Family relationships. We're moving right along, man. Thank you again for joining us, Miss Andy. We appreciate your time, ma'am.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
As you are aware, you know how we do in each segment. We try to give the viewers something to take with them before we leave ourselves. Hopefully, we can learn from each other as we pass on information and grow. So, for family relationships, free, since your boy is out, I get it started. Family relationships. I try to use things that I'm dealing with, that I'm learning myself. So I'm currently learning and understanding. Watch what you say. Watch your mouth, because you immediately react right off of the feeling or the thought. So you're not thinking. So you immediately say what you're not actually feeling, but you voice it and you say it. So that tongue is sharp, and it's something serious. So I'm learning, and I'm trying to teach myself to watch my mouth, watch what I say. It's something that I'm failing at. So I'm trying to grow in that area. So if I can grow, I feel like I can tell you about it. Maybe you might be failing in that area. Maybe you watch what you're saying. Watch what you say. Also, real quick before I pass the mic, compliment versus insult is what I'm working on as well. Compliment versus insult. To insult someone is to downgrade them, is to take from them. But to compliment them is to add to them, is to enlighten them, is to build them. So we want to do more complimenting than taking away. Insulting. All right, I'm gonna pass the mic.
I guess I'm grabbing it. Don't grab it.
You grab it.
Peace. Family relationships. What I got for this week, it's gonna be short and sweet.
All right.
Last week we was talking about family, making decisions that's family oriented rather than individual oriented. We're gonna stick with that same thing, that same basis, because anytime we dealing with family, we have to try to accommodate everybody. When I was growing up, that's why everybody used to bring their favorite dish or whatever. Everybody get a hand in cooking the food, dealing with family. You know what I mean? Ain't no such thing as, well, we don't eat that, so you can't bring that. We have to get back to these types of things. We have to get back to respecting each other. If a person tell you that they don't eat this, then you can't force them to eat that.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I can't force you to. If I tell you I'm vegan, then don't be mad at me because I'm just eating what I bring. You know what I mean? But I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
If you tell me that you not vegan and you got my house and the only thing I have is vegan food, I ain't mad at you because you got your beef ribs over there. Right. You know what I mean? Eat up. That's you. Enjoy yourself. This is what we got to come to. These kind of agreements with each other. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can't knock you for what you do, and you can't knock me for what I do. Just because you don't participate, don't mean you got to play a hate.
That's right. You said that all the way around the board.
True.
Yes,
I'm gonna grab the mic now, I guess, and I'm gonna piggyback a little
bit. Snatch the mic.
I'm snatching it. Family, individuals have to realize that family is above oneself. On a serious and somber note, my mother was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer on my twin's birthday, and we often get into that space of self. Oh, my family don't like me. My family don't do this. So and so didn't call me. This and this and that. We have to remember that our families have lives and problems of their own that they might not be sharing with us. But I just really want to give a shout out to my family because my mother has the unwanted title of the matriarch because everybody goes to my mother for everything. And they have really been standing up and as they say, showing up and showing out, from text to calls to checking to see how chemo has gone and, sending money for a meal. And those are the things that we have to remember that family is for. We're like a church in ourselves, so to speak. When something's not going right, we have to be there to support each other so that, we know that if one falls, we're not a strong unit if we can't pick that person back up because we're so worried about, oh, well, back in 72, he ate my last Pop-Tart. We got to learn to get over stuff and support each other when it's necessary. So that's my 2 cents on the topic.
That's right. That's right. Awesome. That's good stuff. Good family and relationship information, man. Good stuff. I think you use yourself, Miss Andy, at the same time, but that's some good stuff coming out of there, man. Free cipher, Miss Andy. I appreciate your wisdom, your knowledge. We're going to keep it moving if all minds and hearts are clear. To our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. We know you out there watching. Send your comments. Give us a call in. Talk to us live. We're here for you. We're going to keep it moving if all minds and hearts are clear. Building morale. Well, I guess we'll keep the same order that we're in. Building morale. I'll go ahead and snatch the mic. I keep mine short and sweet. Building morale. It's from, it's for my men out there. For you to teach your young men and the men around you in your circle, friends, family. Respect will teach you. Respect will take you a long way. Respect will keep you alive. Respect will keep you alive. A lot of young people lack respect of the older people now, this generation, and it's not a good thing. So I encourage my brothers and my sisters to continue to instill respect, no matter whatever it takes. If you have to go out of your character, if you have to get creative, just whatever it takes, you have to instill respect. When I came up, disrespect didn't exist. So for me to allow disrespect to be belittling what my father taught me, you understand, and that's not the man that I am. So I'm gonna stand my ground. If I do it the wrong way, then Lord forgive me, help me to do it the right way. But be a man at all costs. I'm gonna pass the mic, man. Before I get too deep, y'all don't want a chance to get a little deep. I'm gonna pass the mic.
Peace. I don't know what this guy talking about. This is what it's about, getting deep. We want you way deep in it. You know what I mean? That's what we want. Well, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet too. Then I'm gonna just continue on from last week. Last week I was telling us, we need to stop lying. That was just telling us what we need to do. Now we're gonna go into what can we do to help us to stop lying. Simple. Simple. Stop doing the stuff that you lie about. For instance, you got some homework? No, I already did it. Lie. In order to make that a true statement, do it. Or say, okay, I'm about to do it. Don't tell me you already did it when you know you ain't did it, and I know you ain't did it. That ain't come across to you, okay. Stop smoking crack. You ain't got to keep lying to me, telling me that you won't smoke crack no more. Peace.
Hey,
That was a hard one to follow. I got one.
I'm sorry, Miss Andy. I was trying to think of a way an example to give to the people.
that was don't smoke crack. That was pretty deep. You was almost to the hip on that one.
Go ahead, man.
So for me, I'm also gonna follow y'all's lead and keep it short but sweet. Celebrate yourself as you celebrate others. That's the way you continue to build morale. We have too many followers and not enough leaders. I tell my children all the time, if you don't want to be a leader, at least be a trailblazer. I'd rather you be off doing your own thing than following somebody who's not doing the right thing.
That's right.
When you celebrate yourself, then you don't have a need to think that somebody is greater or better than you. You see the success that's within you, and you don't have to seek it elsewhere.
I think our brother Gangster from California said that all too well. Celebrate your accomplishments. Absolutely. We're gonna keep it moving, man. For our minds and hearts are clear, man. What do you say, Free?
Yeah, that was a great one. That was a great one there. Yes.
Unfortunately, we have to move past the Gangster's Corner.
That's all right. That's all right. I be trying to duck them corners all the time anyway, boy. I be scared going around them Gangster corners.
Move past the Gangster Corner tonight, man. But we'll reconvene with G next week, G Rick next week, man. We're gonna keep it moving, man. If our minds and hearts are clear, man.
Knowledge, wisdom, understanding.
I guess we're gonna break out the order a little bit, huh?
Well, you want to break out the order?
Oh, we can continue on in the same way.
I always keep my guests for last when it comes to.
Yeah, I know. So take off then.
So I go ahead and take off. Anybody got any gas money?
Nope, I ain't got no ends. Well, you told me I ain't need nothing. You told me just come on.
Gas money. Okay. Y'all hold on. So it's gonna be short and sweet. We're gonna get in and get out of here, man. To bring y'all back. Basically, your light, your good deeds, your light is infectious. It's contagious. It acknowledges power. It's something that you should continue to strive to shine. Your light, your beliefs, your strength, your knowledge of God, your knowledge of self, your light, So in the beginning of our theme song, you will see Matthew 5:16. It says, in the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good and that it may glorify your Father. So remember that, keep doing what you know is right. Keep letting it shine so others can feel that warmth and they can grow from that. Real quick, it's the reason why you should continue to be a friend while others defriend you. It's the reason why you should continue to love him or her while they hate you. A lot of people don't have that strength. You have that strength for a reason. Use it. It's the reason why you respect people that don't respect you. God has given you a gift. He's giving you a talent, and if you use it, you'll see it grow. It's your boy Chance. I'm out of here. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Peace. Today is 5th, so I'm gonna go with power and refinement. That's part of our problems today. We have a lot of power without refinement. With this gun, that gun is our power. We don't have refinement. We lack in discipline, so we don't know what to do with it. You need power and refinement. You need the discipline. You need to have that real education and training to have this power. Like they told you, watching Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. It's the same thing in real life out here. You holding the power to take someone's life in your hand. So therefore, you got to have the mind to be able to know when is it time to kill and when is it not time to kill. It's best not to even pull it because you got to use it once you pull it. We know this here. There ain't no stopping once you done pulled it out. So listen, I know you feel like you got to take it everywhere you go, because these are the times that we living in. But we got to get to the times that you got it and you keep it at your house. You guard your house with that. When you got it out here in the streets, you go into the woods to get you some elk. So you coming back with some food. Not because you done killed your homeboy because he stepped on your foot one too many times. Something that happened back in grade school, you still harboring. We got to get away from this kind of stuff, yeah. Peace.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Coming out of the nations of gods and earth. Mrs. Andy, you want to bring us home?
Absolutely. So
before you give the people your bit of wisdom, remind them how they can get in contact with Black Gym Financial Services and let them know.
absolutely. I can be reached at Black BLK Gym GIHM FS at gmail.com or 407-308-2715. So for mine, I'm gonna go with something that the CEO in our business says. Sydney always says that knowledge is power, but only when applied. A lot of us suffer from the habit of gathering knowledge, like squirrels gather nuts for, that when they hibernate, but we never use it. I told my son one day that the dumbest thing that you could do is starve sitting at a table full of food. And I didn't mean that literally, but it can be applied literally. If you're around people that have or has the knowledge that you need, you take what you need, to fill yourself, and you pass along what you don't need or what you have learned to others, so that we stop starving out here, because it makes no sense to starve when you're sitting at a table that's filled with food. And then to
That's right.
those people who tend to kind of shy away from the tables or feel that they're excluded from the table, don't let that be an excuse for you, because God made woods, and where there's woods there's trees. Make your own table and your own chairs, or find a table that you're welcome at. Never let any excuses stop you from what you're trying to do. So that is my addition to knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Yeah, man.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. But now I'm gonna say this. I know the producers is finna get mad at me. They finna get mad at me. But listen, you bought it back around, Miss Andy, when you went into your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and brought me back into remembering about this 112,000. I'm supposed to be getting back to. See, because You did kind of clarify, you clarified the second time you said it, that it wasn't really a waste because you got that education, you went all the way through and you got the certification and you got the paper to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
And you retain most of it, and you still, even though you thinking you're not using it, you utilizing it.
Right.
And once you make all this money that you want to make, you're gonna go back and open up your school. You said you're gonna utilize your creative writing skills, your African studies on your own. Maybe not just at somebody else's corporation or something like that. But you got this thing to start your own stuff now.
Right.
You can educate. You start educating the rest of us that can't go to this school now.
Absolutely. I'm the teacher back in the day that they started their schools. They're gonna teach you because a lot of this stuff is out there. But some people aren't going to find it because they don't know where to look. Sometimes you got to grab a person's hand and take them where they need to go.
Right. That's where we at. Each one teach one.
Exactly.
That's right. That's how we grow. That's how we learn. That's how we build together.
And I might add that 112 was not without purpose because my plan is to start the 112 Foundation, which will support children that are trying to go to school in underserviced areas.
Nice.
Yes. Okay. We need plenty of that.
You got a lot
I tell my children, hey, it's best that you stay in school as long as you can and learn what you can while I'm here to actually take care of rent and stuff like that there. And you don't have to worry about it. You don't just rush yourself into this workforce because you think you need some new shoes or something like that. There, you know what I mean? Nah, exactly. you continue on in school like you doing. Gather all the education you can so you have choices with your opportunities. You might have one particular field that you want to go in, but that particular field might not always be open.
Right.
So you gotta have yourself multiple opportunities.
Because when I left corporate America, I said, okay, I'm gonna apply for a couple jobs, but all they saw was 16, 17 years of sterile processing. Like I have educational background, but when people look at that one area, they think that that's all that you can do a lot of times. So it is important to have a diversified portfolio even in your education.
Right.
You got to.
You have to.
You don't want to get typecast.
Exactly.
Well, we've exhausted the evening, folks. If all minds and hearts are clear, it's been a beautiful evening. Free Cipher, we appreciate the knowledge and wisdom coming out of the nations of gods and earth. Mrs. Andy, we appreciate your time and the knowledge that you brought coming out of the Black Gem Financial Services regarding life insurance. You guys, if you didn't watch the show all the way, you want to watch it from the beginning because it's some good information regarding life insurance and financial stability and things. A lot of things that we didn't know about. A lot of things I didn't know about. So thank you for that, Mrs. Andy. If you guys got anything else to say before we close it out?
Of course, we got to give thanks to another chance out of there with all this knowledge and wisdom he bringing out to protect our head. You know what I'm saying? We understand you don't want to pat your own back, you know what I mean? But I do. I pat mine all the time. I pat mine all the time because I believe in that celebrating myself.
Yes, sir. I shall celebrate myself. Appreciate you, brother.
Peace.
Y'all, take them easy.
All right, y'all have a good one.
For sure.
Grown men podcast. Grown men podcast. Grown men podcast. Grown men podcast. Grown men podcast.
Shout out to Miss Toya, baby. We appreciate your comment, ma'am. We love you. Having power is having the freedom to control our lives and our destiny, which above everything else will help us achieve happiness, longevity, and health. That's some knowledge and wisdom coming from Miss Toya, baby. I love you. Thank you for your time and thank you for joining in. Grown Man Podcast. We'll see y'all next week. Same place, same time, 7:30. Bless.